question, the Think Big scholarship team is asking applicants to like describe any special or attributes or accomplishments that makes them, deserving of the scholarship, as well as the reason why they are applying for the scholarship. So it's the fact that they want to give you money, you have to make them see reason why you are worth investing in. So in this particular essay, you should do well to highlight your strengths. If you've had any academic achievements, if you've gotten award, maybe you're a first class candidate, or maybe you've gotten research grants, your leadership skills, if you're involved in community development, or any accomplishments that demonstrate your potential as a future leader. You should also use this particular essay to highlight why you are interested in pursuing, a master's degree, and how you want to use this your program to contribute to development of your nation. So it's not just I want to use this MSc Public Health to, further my own career plan, but as well contribute to the development of my country, Nigeria. So they want to see how you're looking to develop yourself first as an individual, and also develop your contribute to the development of your nation. So just use this particular essay to highlight and describe any academic achievements, leadership skills. Just look around. Some people would say, oh, I've not been in or I've not occupied any kind of leadership role. Just look around. It could be you contributing to something. What was the result of what you did? What was your academic achievement? What role did you play in community development? Just look out for all of these experiences and tailor it to actually describing yourself as a potential leader, and then what you are looking to do or contribute towards the development of your nation too as well.
Okay, thank you, Temi. Let me reiterate the question again. It says we are looking to support the brightest. So you have to prove that you are the brightest, because it's what you say to them that they're going to know. So you have to demonstrate that.
Exactly.
And best individuals who will actively contribute to the development of their nation in the future. So you have to show that, even though this question is saying in the future, it means what are you already doing now? So it means you have to be contributing one way or the other. I remember what Temi said, leadership, most time when you talk about leadership, you are thinking, oh, I have to hold a position. Maybe I have to be the vice president of my university. I have to be the founder of something. Leadership is just, for me, leadership is about you thinking and solving problems. So demonstrate that. So you can say, describe full attributes or accomplishments that you think deserving of a scholarship. So here, like she said, look at, have you ever received an award before? Don't think every award that you just say, oh, maybe it's during my primary school, I was like the head boy or the head girl. Every award counts. Like in my application, I used to put this thing, it kind of show a trajectory to say, oh, this person at so time, imagine she has been leading at this young age. So if you're able to like show track records wherever or whichever you were, if you're the best needs person in your class, state it there. All these things count, tie a story around it. So they want to see your accomplishments. And then they said this could be any academic or extracurricular achievement, as well as your reasons for applying for a scholarship. So when you read a particular application question, look at them word for word and break it down. Seeing this question, I can see a lot of question embedded in it, because as well as reason for applying for a scholarship here, they also want to know, because why do you need this scholarship? Why do you need this funding? Because remember, they said they're looking for the brightest. So why should they give you? You're not the only one applying for this scholarship. Among every other person who wants to study at the University of Bristol, why should it be you? So why do you need scholarship? So you can state the reason. Maybe you cannot afford to pay. I mean, the school fees is 24,000, or depending on the course you are studying, that pounds. But if you have it, it's good and fine. But if you know you don't have it, you can state that to say, oh, see, this is my track record. I've been contributing to my nation development. I've led this, I've done that. And now I need to like expand my knowledge and build my capacity in this field. I need to study at the University of Bristol, and a scholarship is something that can help me, reduce the financial burden. Think around this thing and tie your essay to that. So thank you, Temi, Timmy, for that. So we'll go to the second question, which is, we are looking for scholars who will be great ambassadors for the university. Give an example of when you have recently contributed to your community. This could be your school or university, where you live, or any other community you feel you're a part of. So tell me, how should I answer that question?
Yeah, sorry, just to quickly add to what I said in question number 1, I mean the first essay, just ensure that in whatever you are saying, keep track of the word limits, because there's always a word limit. So avoid redundant words. Ensure you are putting in the specific and important things in your essay. Just remove all the also, as well as, however, all those redundant words. Make sure what you're writing is precise and concise. So for the second question, you asked to give an example of when you recently contributed to your community, write about a specific event that demonstrates your commitment to making a positive impact in your community. This could be something that you've initiated. It could be a leadership role that you took on. It could be like a volunteer activity that you participated in. If it was just you joined like an NGO, an initiative to clean up the road, you could say I volunteered with so and so initiative to clean up the community, contributing to environmental cleanliness. Just look inwards, look at all your experiences. What have you done? Some people say, oh, I don't have that big, I got so and so money to but look out for all those little things that you think do not count. Bring them together. You actually see that they will form like a trajectory, and then you'll be able to write your story around that. Look at the context of the community. What particular challenge and opportunity in this particular essay? I would recommend that you use like this STAR approach: the situation, task, action, and results. What was the situation? What do you need to do? What action did you take? And then what was the result? You can use statistics to back it up, to say at the end of the day, I contributed to like a 30% increase in literacy, financial literacy, digital literacy of maybe pupils in an underserved community. If it was just you volunteering to teach kids in underserved community, that's a volunteer role. That's something that you can leverage on to say that this is what I contributed to improving the educational literacy of kids in so and so community. And then what was the result after what you did? You talked about the situation, the task, the action you took, and then what was the result? So you have to really ensure that your essay is well written and concise using this STAR approach. Just use this opportunity basically to highlight your contribution and how you've made a positive impact in your community.
Yes, thank you so much, Timmy. And I like the fact that you talk about the STAR approach. Anytime you're answering an essay question, be it for whatever scholarship, use the STAR approach to demonstrate answer. What does that mean? S is for situation. The T is the task. The A is the action. Am I right, Timmy?
Yes.
And then the R is the result. Sometimes the T and the A kind of intertwine together with each other. So let me give like a practical example to demonstrate. So we're not talking like in abstract context. So in this question, again, let me repeat the question that says, we are looking for scholars who will be great ambassadors in the university. Remember, like I said, University of Bristol, they don't want to give you this money just for giving sake, because there are a lot of people that want this scholarship. So they want to know they're investing their money in the right person. So you have to show you're a leader from number one. So you be a great ambassador for a university. Like Temi now, she's coming here to talk about the university. I'm also proudly University of Student Bristol, even though I'm not under the Think Big, but I'm a Commonwealth scholar. But then again, give an example of when you have recently contributed to your community. This could be your school, your university, or any other community you feel a part of. So if you are saying university or school, you're thinking, oh, maybe they are referring, must be back to my university days. No, maybe now you're working. That is your community. what are you doing actively? If you're involved with an NGO activity, or even in your church, like in the CSR aspect of it, that is community. So for example, like she said, use statistics to back it up. Let's say in your community, this community called ABC, for instance, you notice that there's no water there. So let me say I want to use that as an example. Do not copy my example. This is just something I'm making out from my head, just to like give you a critical, practical idea of it. So you say, oh, I noticed in community ABC, there's lack of water. And you know, in this community, there are 1,000 people living there. Now, for them to know you're not making up the story, mention, be specific to say community in, let's say Ogijo community in Ogun State, for instance, 1,000 people did not have access to water. That's the situation. And what has that because? Oh, because they don't have access to water, or maybe girls are not spending more time they would have used in schoolwork to go to the stream to fetch water. You have hit one problem there. Or they say, oh, because of that, they're drinking water from the well. This can lead to cholera. You know, it's just find a way you want to tie the situation around. That's the situation. And then the task is, okay, now you have identified this problem. What are you doing to like make a change in this problem? So yeah, you could say, okay, so the tax is, maybe you wrote to Water Aid. There's an NGO called Water Aid. Or maybe you wrote to your House of Rep member. Or maybe you like galvanize your friends, or you crowdfunded in the internet to raise money. Do you understand? To solve this issue of this problem. So that's like the tax and the action. So the action is, so you contacted one organization, then they sing the ball in the community. And what is the result? The result is, so now there's not a borehole in this community. About the 500 of these people, they use this borehole, and then like you've monitored it to say, oh, since this borehole has been there, so girls no longer waste time in going to the stream to fetch water, so it have saved them time for their education. And then again, it says something like, so of course, maybe before, because of this water issue, there's cholera disease of like maybe 90%. So since you now initiated like this borehole, they no longer fetch water from the river to drink. There's a reduction in cholera percent by 20%, 30%. Do you understand? So by the time, that is like a conjugate example to show a complete story, not to just writing like Temi said, writing filler words to say, okay, then I spoke to this, I spoke to that. There's a word limit. Use power words. When you're writing your essay, they have to know that it's a leader that is talking. Use power word. Go and Google like power word, strong word that will make you what outstanding. So I'll just leave that for that. And then we'll go to the third question. The third question is, would like to support students who have clear goals for the future. So explain how studying your choosing program at the University of Bristol help you to think big and shape your plans after graduation. So explain what has attracted you to study at the University of Bristol, as well as outline your ultimate career goals. Tell me the Think Big Scholar, over to you.
Yeah. So for this particular question, I want to what's that word? I want to twin it with the former question. So in these two questions, you have to like make sure to show that there's a connection. And how is that? I just thought of something now that I forgot to add, which is like the sustainable development goals. You have to wrap it into everything you are saying. Which goal is your course, your program, what you've been doing? Which goal is it tailored to? Is it quality health, quality education, good health for all, quality education, whatever it is, sustainable cities and communities, water? Just ensure to wrap in sustainable development goals. What is the UN saying about this particular problem? What like I mentioned statistics. What's the statistics of out of school children? If you're focusing on educational maybe development or something, what's that statistic of out of school children in Nigeria, in your local community that you've actually maybe participated in a volunteer activity before? What's the statistic of out of school children in that particular community? So back to the number 3 question. This particular essay is asking you to explain how studying your chosen program, say public health, say educational international development or something at the University of Bristol will help you think big and shape your plans after graduation. Use this particular essay to talk about describe the program itself. Explain why it is important to you, why you want to study this course. Highlight, use this keyword to go back to the University of Bristol website, check out all the course, the modules, the research opportunities, every other aspect of the program that aligns with your career goals or interests. You can even look out for, professors, lecturers in the university whose research interests align with yours. And you said, oh, learning from Professor so and so would help me to improve this aspect of my, career plan. Just look out for all those detailed. They want to see you. They want to see that you've actually done your homework. You know what you're saying. You know what University of Bristol can offer you. You know what your course, the modules, everything can. So you have to really, really do your homework. Highlight all of this research. If there is opportunity for work placement, research visits, mention it. Explain why studying at Bristol would help you develop skills like critical thinking, problem solving, communication, teamwork. How studying at Bristol will also help you achieve your long-term career plans. You can even describe your career aspirations, explain how the knowledge and the skills you gain at Bristol will help you achieve these goals. You can even highlight any specific career resources that are available, just like I did in my essay. There's this University of Bristol career services that is available to tailor to my course. So you have to mention all of these things to show that yes, this person has done his or her work. You just show it to them, let them know that, oh, this course at University of Bristol is really, really going to help me achieve my career plans and also contribute. Don't forget, just like essay number 1 says, achieve your own career plan and also contribute to the development of your nation. Just use this. You can even mention about the university reputation. I did mention at the beginning of this talk that University of Bristol is now one of the top 5. So it's something that you can mention, that, oh, the location of the campus, the research opportunities available, the quality of the faculty, like member of staff, the reputation, the university reputation for academic excellence. Just look out for all of these aspects and tailor it to tell them that, oh, I have a clear vision for my future, and explain in these clear terms how studying at Bristol will help you achieve these goals.
Yeah, thank you so much, Temi, for that. I mean, Temi has done justice to that. So I just want to add some more comments to what she has said, because this question, why I like it, is kind of related to one of the questions in my Commonwealth application. So I'll just give more insight to it. Now, again, this is question for Think Big. We would like to support students who have clear goals for the future. See, one thing when I tell people, when you want to apply for scholarship, it's not about rushing. Nobody gives you an award for being the first person to submit your application, but take note of the deadline, submit before the deadline. So don't just rush and say, oh, because I submit first. You're looking for people who are clear to detail. So if you are not clear or you don't have a clear career goal, please wait, pause for now.
Do your homework first.
Yeah, do your homework first, exactly. So you might be here Think Big today. I'm not trying to discourage you, but if you know you're not ready, you can say, okay, let me stay for 1 year. Like the first time, when I heard of Commonwealth Chair Scholarship was not the same year I went to apply for. I was like, let me build my portfolio so that when I put my application, nobody would see this application and say, we're not giving this girl this scholarship. So you can also decide to take some time off. But if you don't want to take some time off between now and the deadline, go and think, what exactly for the course you want to study, what exactly do you want to do with this degree that you want to go for? So that is someone who has a clear career goal for the future. Now, explain how studying your program at the University of Bristol help you to think big. This is the Think Big Scholarship. Now, it's the University of Bristol that is funding you, so you have to talk about the university. And the best place to get first-hand information is the university website. Like when I was applying, you see the University of, I'm not sure there is no page in that website I did not visit. I read everything about the university to understand what this university is, because you don't want to go to a university at the end of the day and regret. I am proudly a University of Bristol student. That's why I'm wearing this shirt. I always speak about the university. If the university is not something I've done my homework for, maybe I would not be happy there. I would have preferred, okay, I would have wanted to be in this other university. Why did I waste my time here? But if it's a school you really want to go and you spend like 1 year of your life there, you have to understand and know what is happening in that university, if what they are doing there is in line with your work. Because I remember something about the UK university is, you might say a course, for example, name international development. You think, oh, normal international development, now it has to do with maybe policy. But when you go and check the course module, you see maybe they are talking, their own international development is tailored only on environmental or geography. So you see, but if you have not done your homework to see, I noticed that when I was looking for courses, and oh no, this university is not a good one for me because it doesn't have what I want. So University of Bristol, yes, it has like the modules I want. So go and check the website properly. You will get a lot of information from there. Shape your plan after graduation. So explain what has attracted you. So what has attracted you? You can talk about the alumni, just like Temi said. You can say, oh, I followed maybe Temi's work, for instance. I can see that while she studied at the University of Bristol, she'll be able to work on so projects. You know, there are lots of good alumni that have graduated from the university. You can mention one. If you don't want to go to the alumni, I didn't use any alumni because I didn't really have a close relationship with anyone. So you can use other, like she has said, the faculty. Don't just say the research reputation. Almost every UK university has research reputation. But if you are specific to say there's a research group called the research group on health policy, for instance, I don't know if there's anything, I know you're doing health, to say, oh, there's this, the University of Bristol has the research head group policy research group. So this research group, they work around malaria, around typhoid fever, and I'm a doctor. I'll be practicing around this area. So if I study at the University of Bristol, I will have access to the faculty to expand my knowledge in malaria. So don't just stop at research, full stop. Be specific and then mention names. Where will you find the name? University website. Temi has said it. If you read, you'll see Professor D's area of interest is there. Malaria, maybe blood cell, anatomy, something. Read it. I read in my faculty, I read each of the lecturer, what were they doing? In my essay, I wrote, you see, Professor this, our area of interest is in development and this. This is the area I'm interested in. I have worked in this area before. If I work with her, it will improve my skills in policy design, policy learning. I didn't say to improve my skills, full stop. What is the skill? Is it project management skill you want to improve? Is it policy? Is it health reform? Is it inclusion? What exactly? Be as specific as possible. Now, let me tell you something. Also, if you check through the course, that's the UK university, go through their website. You see, at the end of this module, everything, they will write the kind of skills they want you to learn. They will tell you the outcome. Just read it. But do not copy word for word. That is plagiarism. Tweak it to your own understanding and put it there. So it will also help you. And then you can also talk about like the area, like read about the city of Bristol. Like I added that in my application to say the University of Bristol is a conducive city. Yes, I've read about the city. I'm someone who likes adventure and tourism, and there are a lot of tourist places I could visit. I said, oh, if I study here, it will help my knowledge too. Apart from academic, I also want to be involved in extracurricular activity to distress. So I would like to visit like the Clifton Suspension Bridge. I mentioned places to say, okay, beyond academics, I'm also balanced in other area. And there's like this balloon festival that the Bristol town is known for. So you can infuse culture, infuse food, infuse other things to your application to say, oh, if I study in this city has, you know, the kind of extracurricular facilities that I also need. So it's left for you now to do your homework. We've talked about the 3 questions for the Think Big application. So if you have more further questions, you can drop them in the comment box and then respond to them and give an answer to them. So I'll ask again, Temi, because I know before like the Think Big scholarship, you have to apply first for admission. So now I think personal statements might play a role in, because in the Think Big, because they are the ones, okay, admission, I've read your application, your university application to say, okay, this would be a good fit for our course to come and study here. So I just wanted to shed light into is it statement of purpose or or letter of intent or something, that motivation letter on why you want to study at the university. So what do you think that made it standard for them to give you admission? Take note, not everybody that applies to university get admission, in case you don't know. And for a competitive university like University of Bristol, which is a Brussels group, heavy on research, you know, a lot of people want to study here. So what made your application stand out?
Well, for me, I would say I would recommend okay, what made my own application stand out? Grace, but at the same time, I did my part, which was to, you know, so I have like this structure that I use for personal statements, which is introduction of myself, like my background, why I am doing what I'm doing, the course, the uni, my career plan, and how studying at the uni or studying that course would help me achieve that career plan, and then my plans for the nation. That is how I break down my personal statements. Like introduction of myself, my background, what I've been doing, basically my experiences, relevant skills and experiences to mention, and then the course that I want to study, the school. Like I'll just use that particular paragraph to talk about the school, the course, the my specific the modules that are in the uni, in the course, in the program rather, and specific research opportunities that I'm looking to, you know, work on, collaborations that are available, and then, you know, down to the part on where I'll talk about my career plans and how the course is going to help me achieve that career plan, and then my plans for the development of my nation. That's how I tailor my personal statements. Because personal statements most times don't usually have word limits, or say, I think it's 1,000 words. So you have like enough room to write, not to write redundant words at the same time, but put in as much relevant experiences, skills, talk about details. Don't just talk about, just like Precious said, don't just say skills, experience, my experience. What are those specific experiences? What are those specific skills? Is it problem solving, communication, leadership, critical thinking? Like, be very specific as possible, but make sure that you tailor everything. And then even just you sitting down to write personal statement alone would give you like a direction when you are writing your Think Big application, because it means you've actually laid the foundation with your personal statement, except maybe someone will write it for you. But if you do the work yourself, you would understand what to write when it comes to writing the Think Big essay.
Yeah, exactly. And since this thing just came into my mind, and I think I should share it. Yeah, so one thing you can say, okay, why the University of Bristol, or why Think Big? Remember that when you study in the UK, this is not like you're studying. The UK it welcomes international students from all over the world. Now you can say, if I study at the University of Bristol that welcomes students from around the world, to develop my intercultural communication skills. And let me tell you, this is like a critical skill in the world today, like how to deal with different people apart from your country. So you can say, oh, if I study back home, I would have access to meet other people from around the world. But if I study at the University of Bristol, I'm able to engage with people from other culture, gain different worldview, work perspective, you know, bring in like these different ideas, exchange of knowledge, like you too. Remember, when you also write an application, not just write from the place of I want to take, also write from the place of I want to give. Your I want to give also come from the place of your career goals, because something about the university is, see, they want like people, if you graduate from the university, they'll be proud of you. They want to put in their website to say, oh, Temina is the Minister of Health in Nigeria. They'll put it in their website. This is our alumni. Temilola is the university, it's not the Minister of Health in Nigeria. So from your essay, that already deciding this kind of person, will this person be a change maker, a leader, someone prominent? If you write fluffy, they will dump it, because they want these bragging rights, because it is us that make the university. So you selling yourself as the ID candidate that say, you need me. If you don't accept me, I'll go to another university. Don't write it to your essay, I'll go to another university, because they know, like, yeah, definitely, you also have other universities. So they'll be like, if we don't accept this person, she will go to another university. And if Temi becomes the minister, we won't have Temi to brag for us. So do you understand? So sell yourself strongly in the change that you're already driving and the change you want to make. You can also add, like, in that number 3 question, you can add like your short-term goals and your long-term goal to say, oh, immediately I return back, something you can easily do. So maybe you continue to work in your organization, or you initiate this project. Then in long term, I always like that you should put your long term. Then you can say, oh, I want to work for the UN. I want to be the dream big, think big. That's a scholarship, think big. I want to be the UN secretary. If you don't want to be that, think about what you want. Do you want to be an House of Rep? Do you want to be the president? If you want to be the president, state it there. Brag it to say, I want to be the president, or I want to be the minister, or I want to run my own company. Do you understand? So I'm just like, those ideas just came to me, and I think that I should share them. So tell me, I think because you're in health, there's a lot of health questions for you. But before that, yes, also if you have publications, state it to say, oh, I've already been researching, I have a publication in this journal. And if your lecturers, they have like published some, just try to read one to say, oh, I read this lecturer's work. You know, that kind of way, they're already like, this person, she really means business. So this one is already engaging with the lecturers. Do you understand? So someone is asking you that, I'm a public health practitioner with good work experience with UNICEF and WHO and one publication. I have interest in applying for masters in public health. What is your advice, Temi? And then the person was also asking, what's their English requirements? So what was the English requirements for you?
Well, I think University of Bristol is quite lenient with their English requirements. You do not have to write IELTS, which I didn't write, but I did submit an English language certificate, proficiency certificate from my undergrad uni, which is what I submitted. So which is what I submitted. So if you study from, your undergraduate is maybe from a Nigerian university, you can always reach out to your uni and say, oh, I think they should provide like an English language certificate for you. Maybe you have to pay a token or a little amount of money, which I did. But that was what I submitted in lieu. But I know of some unis, I'm not sure, I don't know if the University of Bristol would accept like WAEC results instead of, that English language certificate. But I think I submitted everything that I have. I submitted the WAEC result, I submitted the English language proficiency certificate. And in terms of my advice, I think you have a good background, quality work experience, relevant work experience, especially with with UNICEF and WHO. And you've also gone ahead to show that you have interest in research by actually publishing one of your work. So sis, I would say you have like the right foundation. All you need to do is ensure that your story is relevant and tailored to answering the question. Sometimes we feel like we're answering the question when we are not. So look at what the essay is asking for and make sure that you are tailoring all your words into answering that specific question. Don't go above and beyond. Ensure that you are as detailed, specific as possible while answering that question and still staying within word limits. So you have a good foundation, good one, very strong one at that. So just make sure you tell your story, blow your trumpet. Don't be passive at all. Precious made mention of saying you should use power words, action words like I organized, I conducted. Look out for, don't say, oh, this thing was conducted by me. That's passive. Look out for action words. What did you do? Sell yourself. This is not you being proud. This is just you telling your story as it is. You are the main character in your story. So ensure you take control. Write out everything you've done. What was the result? What was the impact you made on development, on advancing SDG 3 in Nigeria or whichever country that you're from? So write your story, sis. I think you're good to go, in my own opinion. That's my advice.
Okay, thank you. So you can connect with us, follow us on LinkedIn, and subscribe to my YouTube channel, like the video and share with others. And then we wish you the very best in your application. Okay, so there's another question that says, should the Think Big scholarship essays reflect my statement of purpose? Should it contain everything I wrote in my statement of purpose, Temi?
So one thing is the admission teams. The admission team is different from international scholarship team. So those that will read your statement of purpose, they are different from those that would read your scholarship essay. So as much as you might want to reflect, but ensure that you are answering what they want, because they are not the same body at all. People that would review your essays for admission are different from those that will review your essays for scholarship. So even if you want to, there should be a connection, of course, except you are saying different things, but there should definitely be a connection. But at the same time, take into cognizance that there are different teams entirely. So tailor it to admission, tailor it to scholarship. That's what I would say.
Yeah, thank you so much, Timmy, for that. And then someone is saying, what if you haven't won any award, but you have been actively engaged in working with some non-governmental organization as a volunteer? So what advice will you give to that person?
Yeah, they already said it. You don't have to. They said academic awards, achievements, participation in volunteer activities. So if you've been actively engaged in working with NGOs as volunteer, that's something to write about. What have you been doing? What was the result? What was the situation of things before you volunteered? What was it that you did? And after you participated, what was your role? What did you do? What impact did it make on that project? What did you learn? What was the skills you gathered? Was it problem solving, project management? Talk about everything that you did and sell yourself, basically.
Okay, thank you, Timmy. Just to reiterate again, so why should they choose the University of Bristol? Yes, I'm asking you. Yeah, I really want them to come here because I'm finding this place interesting. I always recommend the University of Bristol. So why should they come to the University of Bristol?
Yeah, like I mentioned earlier, University of Bristol, for me, I've had like a very positive experience. There's literally lots and lots of opportunities for you, not just as a student. You can get support for IT, you can get support for hardship. Maybe if you're encountering any financial difficulty, you can literally reach out to the uni and say, oh, this is my situation, I need help. If you need help with counseling, if you need help with your well-being, mental health, whatever it is, the uni is like really, really rich in terms of support services for students. They are willing to listen to students. Students' perspective and experiences are usually, gotten, and then they take it into consideration when they are rolling out any kind of plan or any decisions. Basically, maybe policy, they usually take in the aspect of student experience is one of the major reasons why I think I really like University of Bristol. And the fact that research is, if you are into research, University of Bristol is a very good place for you to be, because you can work with your lecturers, volunteer as research assistants on any of the projects that they are undertaking. It's not like Nigerian University that you have to, the support that you get from the lecturers are really, really willing to help you. Just reach out, say, oh, this is what I want to do. You can even say, oh, this is my research interest. I don't know if they don't have any current project, I tell you, they will refer you to someone who have. And if the person is willing to take you on board, fine and good. That is it. Like, you really don't have to do anything wild. They are always willing to help you. So University of Bristol is a great place to be.
Yeah, University of Bristol is the great place to be, just as Timmy has said. So that means also, even for your application, like she has said it. So if you have gone through the university website, you will see different projects. You will see where your lecturers are working. You'll be surprised someone even worked in your country before. You should mention that in the application to say, oh, Dr. Filipino, for example, he has worked in Africa, he has worked in Nigeria, he worked on this project, and this project did this. So I want to like meet him, have that conversation. Or if there's even an ongoing project or a research to say, this is why I want to come to the University of Bristol. You have this project happening, and I need this knowledge, I need this research experience. So tell me again, someone is asking the question, did they take into consideration the class one graduated with? So I mean the Think Big Scholarship team. I did not graduate with a first class award. So does it matter if you're a first class graduate or not?
Yeah, I also did not graduate it with a first class award, and I got this scholarship. So it's not exactly about the academic achievements, really. It's about what have you done? What potential do you have, like personally and professionally, and what advantage are you going to be to the uni and also to your nation? So just if you don't have a first class award, just forget it, leave it, write what you have, then write about your relevant skills and experience, build on that. Some people might have first class award and that's all they have. They don't have, any experience. What else do you want to write about other than the fact that I graduated with first class? Give me this scholarship award. They'll be like, okay, so what potential do you have to offer us? So it's not really about the educational achievements.
Yes, exactly. So someone might even have a first class. They won't give the person the scholarship. You'll be surprised someone who has a third class or who has an HND or a 2-1. And try your luck. See, don't limit yourself. Like, I've applied to things that there'll be a restriction. And I know I see that restriction, I don't have it. You know, I used to apply for that thing and sometimes they will give it to me. When I get that, we ask them that, I mean, but you said this, but they're like, what you put up your application. So most times, even when they say you must have this, try your luck. You might be favored. Scholarship is not only about academics. Yeah, so beyond your first class, you have no experience, you have no leadership. Remember, they're looking for people who are thinking big, leadership, no nothing. They won't give you the scholarship. Compared to someone who maybe did not graduate with a very good degree, but experience is there. The person has even taken maybe other courses on Udemy. Yeah, and also that brings me to the fact that one thing I like about the UK university is try. You can even switch field. I know someone, it's not about Think Big, but who has gotten admission from HND to a master's. The person doesn't have a BSc, and the person even got a scholarship to do that. So don't tell yourself to say, oh, I must have a first class, or I must be a BSc, or I may be this, or I have to do work in line with my field. I have a science background. I have a BSc science. I am doing social science. And I'm on fully funded scholarship. So it depends on how you tell your story and how you do this. Just as Temi has said, it's very important. So Temi, I think this person wasn't here when we started. So talk about the Think Big Financial. What's the price now? What they can give? Because the person is asking, is the scholarship fully funded?
Sorry, what did you say?
Okay, I think this person wasn't here when we started. So talk about like the amounts that you mentioned before and other benefits attached to Think Big, because the person is asking if the University of Bristol Think Big scholarship is fully funded.
Okay, so for this year's scholarship round, the least amount that you can get is £6,500. Average is £13,000, and then the highest award is £26,000. There's also a living costs bursary of up to £3,000 that they will give you towards your, like, if you want to eat, rent, just to pay your bills. And the highest amount for this year is 26,000, meaning that your cost could be 24, 25, and that's, I mean, you've been able to clear off everything as regarding your tuition. So it's not fully funded in terms of maybe you'll pay you stipend every month. No, but your tuition is majorly what Think Big Scholarship is all about. And the fact that, like I mentioned, the professional development programs that are organized by the Think Big development team for Think Big Scholars. So that's what Think Big Scholarship is all about.
Yes, I mean, if you have up to 26,000 pounds, like
Yes.
you said, I mean, majorly that's what most courses are, between that range or less. Like, you've gotten a fully fund, you don't have to think about school fees payments. You also have access to bursary of 3,000. And like I said, the university also have different kind of funds you can also apply for when you're here. So don't allow anything to limit you. Once your school fees is already covered, that's like the major, like, what financial burden on you. What else again? If you come here, like, you can easily find opportunities to like look for other ways. So if you are someone,
And you can work part-time as well.
yeah, you can work part-time as well. And then again, it's even better, like, you even go to the Think Big route. Like, tell me, you're not mandated, like with the Think Big scholarship, did they mandate you to go back to your country?
No, you can remain, do whatever you want, even after you're done
Yeah.
with the program.
So with the Think Big, you can even go for the postgraduate route visa. So why not take advantage of a scholarship, or like other scholarship that will mandate you to like go back home to your country when you finish with the scholarship? But with the Think Big, your tuition fee has been waived, you know, things like that. So again, tell me, someone is asking, and please, do they put priority on publication, especially if an applicant state that she's research oriented?
I don't have any publication and I got the award. So I don't think they put any priority. If you have any publication, state it. If you don't have, it's still fine. Just ensure to sell yourself well.
Yeah, always sell yourself. Like my scholarship, which is like the Commonwealth Shared Scholarship, is more of like even academics, but I don't have any publication and I got the scholarship. I also have like a science background, I remember, with social science. And I know there are other people in this field with these things. Like Temi said, it's how you sell yourself. She'll talk about using action words, your experience. Don't talk in passive way or like belittle your work. You might think that that little work that you did somewhere, see, and don't lie. It's not about you hyping numbers to say, I did a project for 1,000 people. You think that's not what I do. If we do a project for one person and you make one impact, like one story with one person alone, you can state from the beginning to the end. They will give you that scholarship to someone who say, I do a training for 1,000 people. So what? Anybody can do a training for 1,000 people now. So are you the first or will you be the last? Impact is when you're able to, like I gave a clear example, to state from the beginning, this is the problem, to the end. Show us the results. So if I work with one person, I'm able to put one person back to school. This person is in school now. This person has graduated from the university. I can say that's my impact story, compared to someone to say, oh, I went to do a mentoring program for 500 people, full stop. And I went to this other community and I did community awareness for 500 people. You're just writing, they're just writing to fill space. You're not showing impact. Out of that 500, how many of those people change? What results? Do you understand? So don't just stop at saying, I did capacity building for 200 people. Out of those 200 people you went to mentor, did you track them at the end of the program? Was there an increase in awareness? That's why it's always good to put statistic percentage to back it up. And if you know you're not lying, mention the name of that place. So like they want to go and check it, they will find you there. Mention the name of the place, and exactly those things are there. So I don't think publication is a priority, but then again, you can use that as your strong strength to sell yourself, to say, hey, yeah, research intensive university and I have publication. You need me. I have skills in research. So see, always use your strength to your advantage. So I tell people, I always use my strengths and maximize it to my advantage. So whatever skills you have, use it to your advantage. So, okay, we've answered that question. Now, someone is saying, how can one deal with that, waiting for the outcome of the scholarship? So I think there's no more question. So like, if you have more questions, drop them in the comment. Don't forget to like and to subscribe to this channel. And we wish you the best in your application. Thanks.